Every modern day company needs a content creator. So should you become one? That's the question I'm going to be answering in today's video. I'm going to be giving you the pros and cons that I've learned over my last 2 years of content creating so that you can make a proper decision on whether or not you should all in on content creation. And yeah, for a bit of a background on why you should trust me, well, first of all, hi, my name's Paul, some people call me Speed, and this is the channel that I run. And let's hop right into the reasons or the pros on why you should actually become a content creator. And that's how this video is going to be set up. I'm going to be giving you the pros, the cons, and then suggestions to basically ease up your decision-making process and the amount of time it will take you to transition from ordinary person to mythical content creator. So first off, let's start off with the pros. Number one is infinite growth. You can grow as much as you want as a content creator. Now sure, the market that you choose, let's say a very unpopular game, right? You choose a game that only has 100,000 concurrent players. Well, yeah, the amount of people you're likely going to be able to get on your channel is capped, right? So if you put in 10 hours a week, you'll get the following results. However, if you put in 100 hours a week, which you can do, that's something I'm striving for myself, you can get the results. And that is what is so awesome as a content creator. You determine how much you get out. The second point I want to discuss is that it actually lets you drop out of school. Now, this could be a con, and I'm actually going to talk about why I think this could be a con, but it's weird, right? For me, it was great. I was so happy that I could get out of college at the time. I personally didn't like it, it wasn't for me, and therefore it allowed me to drop out, which was a major pro. And this is something you just have to think about for yourself. Do you want to drop out of college, or is that a bad decision? For number three, it allows you to travel. Content creation gives you the opportunity to move around. Now you might be saying, Speed, well, what if I'm a gamer and I want to get into gaming content creation and therefore I need to stay on my setup? Absolutely. However, it does at least give you the option to go from one gaming house to the next. I got to travel to Bulgaria. I create content, educational content, for gamers. The reason why I was able to do that is the company I work under, GameLeap, was founded in Bulgaria. I got to develop my perspective on this world, learn a ton about myself, and of course, travel through Bulgaria. And you can see some pictures here. It's incredible. I learned so much, and that was a huge pro of becoming a content creator. The fourth and final pro is that it is a crucial skill in today's market. There are multi-million-dollar companies such as Gary V's VaynerMedia, that literally create content for top-tier people and top-tier businesses. Or you can create content for local businesses. Content creation is the future of marketing. I don't even know why I'm saying it's the future. It is current marketing. If you don't create content, your business won't do well. And because of that, it's a very important skill to develop. And many people will desire you, right? As long as you know how to do it practically. If all you know how to do is talk about a singular video game or a singular topic, and you don't know the ins and outs of content creation, such as editing, SEO, keywords, things like this, you are going to struggle. But if you do the journey on your own, and you learn from other people, you actually are going to have one of the best skills in the entire world. Now let's get into the cons. They're a little bit more saddening. They can be harder to hear, but do understand that the cons might not actually be cons for you. They could be ups or pros for you. So the first con is that you can lose your social life. This is a harsh reality of content creation, but it is the reality. I didn't do much in high school, and now I have a relatively limited social life because of content creation. Does this have to be the case for you? I would say it doesn't have to. Maybe you create content with friends, but for me, it really has limited the amount of social life that I could have because I had to drop out of college to do this, right? To all in and make it worth full time. Now, sure, are there people who make it work from college? Absolutely. And that's great to hear. But overall, if you cannot all in on content creation, if you can't spend 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 hours a week on this, treating it as a full-time job, it is very, very unlikely that you will make it. And that is the con of content creation that I don't think people really realize. For the most part, it has to, at some point or another, become a full-time job. Now, sure, you do want to start out small, but eventually you have to spend a ton of time on it, and people don't realize this. They don't want to do it. It becomes monotonous and it becomes boring if you don't truly love what you're making content about. The second con is that it has a bit of a slow start. You have to be okay with that. You don't just get a million views in your first week of content creation unless you're the luckiest human of all time. So you have to understand that and be willing to take that risk, right? Content creation is a huge risk. There are current day channels that have 400,000 subscribers and get 5,000 views a video because they lack consistency. They haven't adapted to current day trends. Their content has fallen off. And therefore, it can not only have a slow start, but also it can have a harsh ending if you don't stay consistent with it. And I'm sure you guys have heard this from a lot of your favorite YouTubers, that they're afraid to take breaks. This isn't for no reason. It's not because they're psychopaths that like to work all day. It's because your job completely relies on whether or not you are there or not for that day. And it really, really relies on that consistency, on that hardcore consistency. You have to be brutally consistent for content creation. The third con is that you can get locked into a genre. So I'm sure you guys watch a lot of your favorite YouTubers. They probably post about the same thing every single day. That can become boring for some people. Now, once again, if you love it, that's okay. But you can get locked into that genre even if you don't like it. Let's think about maybe a Minecraft YouTuber who still posts Minecraft stuff. They might despise Minecraft, but realize if they don't post about it, they will get no views, right? So you have to understand that that can happen, and maybe that's all right for you. Maybe you're like, yeah, I just want to do content creation because it will let me work from home. It will let me drop out of college. It will let me work for myself. I can be my own boss, which is, I guess, another pro. But do understand, you can get locked into a genre. Now, yes, there are YouTubers such as PewDiePie. I believe 2Matt has done it as well, right? Where they're top of their tier and they've been able to transition, but they played the game for a long time. And that is my next con. You do have to play the game of YouTube. A lot of people, when they hear this and they realize that they actually have to really, really play the game, which I'll talk about in a second, they get a little bit sad or they don't want to do it at all. What I mean by that is when you make YouTube content or TikTok content or Instagram content, doesn't matter what it is, you have to create your thumbnails, titles, and even video topics about what is popular, at least for the most part. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get the growth you desire. Because let's be real, most of us, when we get into content creation, we want to grow, we want to explode. But that's hard if you don't play the game, if you don't know the best SEO words, if you don't study keywords and do your research. There's literally a full website that tells you what words get the most search results. It's really cool, but it takes up a lot of time. And now for the final con, we have backlash from family. And this is the reality. In my entire journey, it's not like I wasn't supported at all, right? My family is generally supportive. I'm very lucky for that reason. But I'm sure a lot of you guys understand or have situations that maybe aren't that fortunate, or your parents just don't get it. What the limits were, what the potential was, they didn't get it. And that's fine, right? But you do have to accept the fact and be comfortable with the pure fact that people will get a little bit concerned, right? They're gonna get concerned. They're gonna be like, what are you doing? But definitely expect the backlash from family. It's going to happen. They're gonna convince you to go down a more traditional route. That will happen. It's a con. Be ready for it and you'll be all right. That's it. And now let's get into suggestions. I think this is my favorite part of the video because after 2 years, I've even seen a lot of people fail. I've been following a lot of content creators for a while now. I see what works, what doesn't. So the first suggestion that I have, find a friend group that will support you and carry you when you're down. Now, why do I say this? Getting off the ground is not that hard. A lot of you thought I was going to say is easy, right? Getting off the ground is easy. No, the first week of content creation, you're going to be hyped, you're going to be pumped, you're probably going to make a couple videos, but 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, you're not going to enjoy it as much, right? The honeymoon phase is over. That's when you need people to continue to motivate you. Or you just need self-discipline. Honestly, the word motivation, it scares me, right? I'm like, oh, why do you need motivation? You should be loving this. You should be enjoying it. Otherwise, you're not going to make it in the first place. So that's my suggestion. Make sure you enjoy it. Have a friend group that can pick you up and carry you in the times that you feel a little bit down. It's huge, right? You are the average of the 5 people closest to you. This is a very common saying in like self-help books, but it's true. The second suggestion I have is to not concern yourself over views to start. If you are a year or 2 in and you are getting 20 views per video, as if it's a hobby, okay, fine. You know, like, you do you. It depends what you're looking for. But if you're trying to grow this into something scalable, you know, to go full-time as a content creator, you need to switch it up. If you're 2 months or 3 months in and you're still getting 5, 10, 15, 20 views, you're doing something wrong. Either the type of content you're making has zero demand, you're not playing around keywords enough, maybe your descriptions are bad, maybe your quality is abysmal, I don't know. But you have to make sure that your views are steadily going up. Otherwise, there's a reason. But don't concern yourself over views to start, right? Don't do it to start. For the first week or two, no one's gonna watch your videos. Do I recommend you put it out on various social medias such as TikTok and Reddit if you can? Absolutely. That's gonna help you get off to a good start. That's just another separate tip that I recommend. It's gonna take a while to get started. Please have some patience. The third suggestion I have is to try to find a company that does content creation. I really mean this. It's huge. If you can find a company that will support you in your content creation journey and can pay you a fixed salary or a fixed price per video for a while, that is so good. That is what I have done, and it changed my life completely. I got my main mentor, one of my dear friends now, who has helped change my life, came from the company Game Leap. He changed my life. He got me into content creation. He pushed me to improve myself, and it allowed me to make a solid amount of money to the point where I could show my parents, hey, this is feasible. This is an option. And now that I have that as a really good foundation and I love it and I consistently create content for that company, I can now start to scale into my own stuff. By the way, guys, it's fantastic. If you find a good community of people, it's amazing because they motivate you. It gives you a reason to keep going. It makes you have to push yourself to be better. It's the best. So if there's one thing I can recommend in this entirety of this video, honestly, I probably should have just started with this. It's this point. You will not hear this tip anywhere else. And that's the thing. It's so good. It changed my life. I think it will to you too, because if you do not have that structure, most people fail. That's the reality. If you don't have that structure, that pressure from other people, most people fail. And now let's get into the final suggestion. And what that is that you need to build quality over time. I see this be the bane of so many people's content creation journeys. What they try to do is to try to make their first video as good as, what's the guy's name? Like Matt Diavelia? I'm probably saying that wrong. I'll put the channel here. You know this guy? His videos are absurd quality. And when people try to start, they try to be the second coming of Matt. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You won't be that good, but that's fine. You build the quality up over time. Maybe the first video of an audio issue. It's fine. Post it anyway. Second video, improve the video quality. Third, maybe you have a better idea, a different way to fix your editing. I don't know. Build it up over time. But hopefully you guys get the point. Build up that quality over time. Don't expect to pop off in your first couple videos. Make it a smooth transition. It's a big deal. And that is going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please smash the like button. It helps me out a ton. I'm going to be doing content like this and other stuff on the channel, just showing off the content creator lifestyle, the kind of the endless possibilities you have with content, different ideas for the future, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and peace.